Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nurrahma Putri Haula. I'm from group 6. And today we're gonna presenting our presentation that entitled Data Analysis of Car Sales. And here's our members. First is Haikal, Ahnaf, Abqori, Nurrahma Putri Haula, and Vino, Endang, Ramadan. And here's system analysis summary. This project is entitled Car Sales Data Analysis. This project is nothing but a sales report on car sales. This report includes sales, marketing, profit, and installment data. The purpose of this project is a way to make it easier to make financial reports for car sales compared to doing reports manually. So here's our content for this presentation. First is table, pivot table, implementation, and closing.
First, we have table product. This is a partial table of products that we saw on the left. This detailed product table consists of ID product, example like GA1, brand, type, original stock, tax expired, unit price, and stock existing. 2. Sales. This sales table consists ID sales, ID product, ID area, brand, type, stock sold, total sales, capital price, unit price, capital price per unit, profit, and profit margin. 3. This detailed product table consists of ID sales, area, and brand. 4. List of installment. Table list of installment is for consumers who want to buy a car in installment at the same time to attract consumers with discount strategies provided by car sales. 5. Scenario summary. Scenario manager is one of the data analysis features that you can use to see the result or output of several different inputs. This command is used for business analysis or project analysis by looking at various possible calculations that may occur or as a comparison of the output values of the various input values of car sales.
So we're moving to pivot table contents, and we have 14 pivot tables, and here's the list of pivot tables. So we're gonna move to the first pivot table. The first is count of brand, and we can see that the sum of cars are 108, with the highest sum of cars is Honda, and also Toyota, 27. And the second pivot table is count of type, and we can see that each of type has the same amount, and each of type has 9 amount. And the third pivot table is original stock brand, and we can see that the sum of original stock is 1362, and we also can see that the Toyota has the highest sum of original stock, which is 353. And the fourth pivot table is original stock type, and we can see that the lowest of sum of original stock is Land Cruiser, which is only just 98, and the highest one is Innova with 130. And the fifth pivot table is stock sold brand, and we can see that the sum of stock sold are 889, and we also can see that the highest sum of stock sold is Toyota with 224. And the sixth pivot table is stock sold type. We can see that the lowest sum of stock sold is Jess with 67, and the highest one is Innova with 89. So the seventh pivot table is capital price amount of types. And we can see that the sum of capital price are 77 billion, and the range of each capital price types are from 5 billion to 7 billion, and the highest is Innova and Land Cruiser with 7 billion. And the eighth pivot table is capital price amount of brands. So the highest sum of capital price is Toyota with 20 billion. And the ninth pivot table is total sales of brands. And we can see that the Toyota has the highest sum of total sales. And next to pivot table, total sales of type, and we can see that R3, Innova, Juke, Land Cruiser, and the last is Pajero has the highest sum of total sales, which is around 10 billion. And the 11 pivot table is total sales brand on each area. And we can see that in Bandung there is Honda as the highest total sales, 11 billion. In Jakarta there's Toyota 11 billion too, and the last is Surabaya Toyota 10 billion. So the 12th pivot table is total sales type on each area, and we can see that the total sales of each type has the same average, like it's from 2 billion, 3, and the highest one is 4 billion, which is Jazz, Juke, Pajero, and Innova. Jazz and Juke in Bandung, Innova in Surabaya, and the highest one in Jakarta are Avanza, Brio, R3, Innova, Juke, Land Cruiser, and the last is Expander with 3 billions. And the 13 pivot table are there's total sales brand by month, and we can see that in April, Honda has the highest total sales. In February, Toyota has the highest total sales, which is 11 billion. In January, there is Honda and Mitsubishi. And in March, there is Nissan with 10 billion. And the last pivot table is total sales type by month. And we can see that the range of the total sales are from 4 billion till 6 billion. And the highest for April is Swift which is 5 billion. In February there is Innova, which is the highest among of all. That is Innova with 6 billion. In January there is CRV and Pajero with 5 billion, and the last is March with Juke and Land Cruiser 5 billion.
Excel function. This is what we use, what the function we use in our project. There is subtraction or minus, distribution per pivot, PMT, and scenario manager. Implementation. Subtraction or minus. We use minus formula from Excel to get result stock existing from original stock and stock sold. For example, we type equal I31 minus J31 to get result of stock existing. The second is distribution. We use slash to get result. The example, you want search result how many value for in price for a car. You just type equal B3 divided by I3 for the cell in unit price to get the result of unit price for each car. Power Pivot. Power Pivot is an additional feature provided in Microsoft Office Excel 2019 or 365 that is used to manage data modeling, including adding, calculating, and determining the relationship of each data. Power Pivot Excel is located on the right between the help name and tell me what you want to do, and has 5 groups, namely data models, calculation, tables, and settings. More complicated than the pivot table because it can analyze data on more than one sheet. For example, is in is in the right of this screen, like count of brand. You want to know how much the brand is, how much the brand or the type for a car in the existing. I mean the original, there is a 27, and the grand total for all the car is 108. Some sort of like that. PMT. What is PMT? PMT is the financial function calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payment and a constant interest rate. Use the Excel formula coach to figure out the monthly loan payment. So we use PMT for list of installment. PMT function calculates payment for loan based on fixed payment and fixed rates. There is the example of the PMT that we use in this project. For example, we want to use a credit card, a credit for Suzuki Swift for ID product SS08. We want to pay that for 24 months. So we pay for 1 month for 4 million rupiah, and we do that in 24 months. And of course, we have a down payment for 10 million rupiah. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. And that is the bottom of the screen. There is a function that we use for this PMT. And the last is scenario manager. We use scenario manager with what if analyze. Scenario manager is one of the data analysis feature that you can use to see the result or outputs of several different inputs. This command is used for business analyst or project analyst by looking at various possible calculation that may occur or as a comparison of the output value of the various input values of car sales. So I think that's all we can to explain to you. I hope you all understand what we are trying to say, and hope this presentation will benefit you for it can benefit you. And thank you for orientation, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.